I hear an echo,
Yeah.
Archie. Oh,
It's our
okay,
phones.
yeah, so we do
Yeah.
have audio, I guess. That
Yep.
means we can turn down. Look at that.
Yep. So
Look
it
at that.
sounds like we are
Sounds
actually
like,
live.
looks like, here we are. Here we are. Where are we?
Well, it's a Test for Echo, which is a New Age Rush album.
Like Charlie from Lost. Where are we? It's a all-time favorite television show.
Never got into Lost.
The counter's gone, so I guess that we should probably go ahead.
Hey, yeah,
and
so,
Whitney
yeah,
Blaylock can
Whitney
hear.
says we can hear. So we were all just practicing the first time. So
We'll just go ahead and crumple. Because we fixed our audio. RJ Murdock fixed our audio. I guess we can just go ahead into our spiel that we were doing before, sans RJ, because I mean this is what makes RJ so useful is his ability to be the man behind the curtain. But thank you so much for tuning into episode 166 of Fort Walton Beach. What we're doing.
It's why we do this, so we get the game perfect.
That's right. It's your daily dose of local news, community engagement, in-studio interviews with local movers and shakers, and sports and local history whenever we can squeeze it in. Who are we? Well, I'm Gareth Stearns. I'm the nostalgia guy, and I'm joined by my cohort partner in crime, Mr. Keith Nix. How you doing, my friend?
howdy, howdy. Doing good.
I appreciate you being here, doing this with me. I know that you might feel like you're in enemy territory a little bit.
Being a Viking, but it's fine. I don't have a brand loyalty when it comes to that. I'm just, in it for the production and helping out the podcast. And we're going forward, new challenges, new venues. Why not? Let's do it.
Speaking of in it for the production, this man right here, Mr. R.J. Murdock of Emerald Coast TV. He is the reason why you are able to see us right now. He's the reason why you are able to, that our audio issues were fixed so quickly and effectively and it had the answer to immediately. He's going to be our eyes and ears and extra set of hands whenever we need him. RJ, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to partner with you, and not only for this show, but for Choctaw football in general. And that's why we are doing the show today from Etheredge Stadium, right here on Racetrack Road at Choctawhatchee High School, because the Kickoff Classic is tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And what is the Kickoff Classic? Well, it's a preseason football game where they have one half of football where the two schools that are meeting up have their JV play against each other, and then they have another half where the varsity teams play against each other. It doesn't count in the record books, but I tell you where it counts most. Getting the smell of the new turf on the field, getting our hands wet with all of the new production capabilities that we're going to have at our disposal. And I really want to turn to you, RJ, and first thank you. And subsequent to that, could you maybe let our viewers know how things are going to appear differently this season for Choctaw football on the production side of things?
From the production side, we're kind of like trying to jump back in where we left off in 2018 when Emerald Coast TV did their last broadcast from here. So it's, 8 years in the making to come on back. The technology has greatly improved since then. We might be able to do some sideline type of interviews, some fan reactions, I'm hoping. Not necessarily for the kickoff game. Right now, this is the flush out the bugs aspect like we just did here with the pre-show and the audio. And also getting a chance to check out this brand new field they got out here. It's a brand new AstroTurf. It's going to be really interesting to see the play on this. I know that our teams, you've seen, have been practicing on this, and even during practice, they kind of slip a little bit. It could be kind of to our advantage when it comes to the other players coming in. Of course, unless they've been practicing on AstroTurf for years, then it's going to be a pretty good game. We'll see.
It's really turf to know at this point. And I'm going to go ahead and say that we went to a practice earlier this week, and they are practicing on the field. It makes sense. If we're going to put down the turf, they ought to be as familiar as possible with it so they can get that advantage. And on a very bright, sunny, non-moist day, there was a lot of slipping and sliding around that they're still adjusting to, trying to figure out where those spots are, how to properly set your weight and get your footing and everything. So that's going to be an adjustment for visiting teams as they come to Etheredge this year. And that's going to be, and believe me, ladies and gentlemen, people are circling their calendars for when they play Choctaw. We are on the map. This is a game. This is a team that people are looking forward to seeing. They're ranked. I think they're number 21 21 in the nation, in the state right now, 21, and that's the entire state, regardless of district or student population. And I may be corrected by that when I get my resident Choctaw experts and co-hosts during the season. They're going to be joining us shortly. That's Kevin and Horgan and Brady Brooks. Yes, the same very broadcast team that was bringing it to you last year on radio. We're going to be doing it live through a couple different ways to stream, right? Maybe you could talk a little bit more about how we will be delivering these games to the viewers.
Well, when we're here for the home games, we should be able to access the scoreboard controller, so that way we can have live graphics on so you have real down to the second, finding out what the time it is, what the score it is, what the quarter it is, and maybe into the penalties. We'll see. But then also we're going to try to add some sideline cam, which we have been trying to do in the past, but we're kind of keeping it simple. We have the two cam follow system. It's very unique. It's an RJ specific patent type of system that I will be putting out there on T3 TV, Tech Talk and Tips, or Tips, Steps, and Talk. Either way. And the audio is much better. We're not patching off of an actual radio announcement from before, so we're kind of stuck with their audio and their commercial breaks. We're in control of all the audio now. And then hopefully you're going to be out in the stands with the fans and getting some good reactions off of there. And maybe even in the huddle cam as we're watching the players kind of review the last. We're gonna have some roaming going on, but at the very least, there's going to be some good football here. And then when we're on the road, it may be a little bit more scaled down, but at the very least, 2 camera setup, good audio, good commentary, and we'll be good to go. So tech-wise, he's going to be my number 2.
Number 2.
Thank you for being willing to step up and learn. This is a great mentor to learn from.
Yeah, absolutely, one of the best. And that's the thing is, unfamiliar territory is scary, but scary's good. You need a challenge, and you got to have something new each day that challenges you a little bit. And I'm lucky that one of my things that never challenges me is my significant other, my caddy. Looking at you, babes, at home. Her support is the only way I can get any of this done, and I'm loving it. Good stuff.
I'm going to look at the camera and thank my girlfriend, too. Thank you, Jessica, because seriously, I know that I've been a wreck with anxiety. This is exciting for me. I don't want to screw this up. This is a full circle moment for me. I realize we're standing on the shoulders of giants when we get the opportunity to do this. I don't take this opportunity lightly. We want to do the best we can to bring the best possible product to you so that we can lift up these student athletes and they can have their names heard over the air and see their images projected, and that's to include the cheerleaders and the band and the parents who show up to see as well.
Especially the band and the halftime show, because a lot of other broadcasts they cut away for halftime, they go to commercial breaks. Not here.
Well, and also it's not just something you can just catch on a radio broadcast live. It's in perpetuity. They'll always be able to go back and look, show your grandkids. This is, 2026 when I was the running back at Choctaw, whatever,
And where do they go?
Days.
Emerald Coast TV.
That's right.
EmeraldCoastTV.com. That's where you can find the night's game and the rest of them for the rest of the season. You may even find some of them from 2018 and earlier. I think we've been broadcasting here since 2012 when we had that first 60th anniversary of the Style Marchers. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Style Marchers again. It's been a while. That was always my very favorite part. People would take a break during halftime. I didn't let my cameramans do that because these guys put on a good show.
Slave driver over here.
They never shuffle away. By the way, I want to go ahead and give the first official shout out of the season from the Facebook commentary here, and I want to give that honor to my good friend and Choctawhatchee legend, class of 1993, Mr. Nathan Yates. He says, "What's up, brother?" And I'm returning the favor. What is up, brother? I cannot wait to see you here at Etheredge Stadium a little later today, and at every single game. You're the first person I almost always see, and it is a consistent presence. You are the modern-day Pop Marler, my friend, and there's Pop Marler right there, as a matter of fact.
Breaking stuff already.
Yeah. Breaking it down, breaking it down. What's up, Nathan Yates? I also want to shout out to Woody McAuliffe, who says go Choctaw. He's a big wrestling fan, good buddy of mine. Good to see you tuning in. And Jay, speaking of wrestling fans, Mr. JT Ho, been a co-host on this show multiple times. He says that we're coming in loud and clear.
The medium show himself.
Yes. And Chantel, hello. Welcome to another season of Choctaw football. I am excited to see that you have that you've stuck around with us, and that and I hope you're as excited as we are to get into it. RJ, so we're going to be live streaming the games. Is it just going to be through Emerald Coast TV, or are we going to?
Well, Emerald Coast TV is where you can find it, but it is going to be on the Emerald Coast TV YouTube, which makes it great if you have a smart TV, and most smart TVs all have YouTube channels.
Yeah,
so
already,
if you go to
already
Emerald Coast TV, you'll find it that it's live right there, and you can go watch the whole game full screen at 720 right now, because 720p resolution, only because of the fact that we're doing mobile hotspot. We can't get into the county's internet here in the booth, security purposes. But it's still going to be good production value. It's going to look really great.
I see Stephanie Morocco is watching. I know that you have good reason to pay attention to the football season this year. You've got two boys who are absolute studs, and we are going to rely on them heavily throughout the year. Carter and Jack Morocco, both great athletes, baseball team, football team. We call Carter the Swiss Army knife because he does just a little bit of everything. But Jack has been in the weight room, man. He's been putting on some size. We're really looking forward to seeing what the Morocco brothers are going to bring to the table this year. And speaking of bringing things to the table, Stephanie Morocco is the owner of Taco Town down the street at Racetrack Road.
So the Morocco Taco?
Yeah.
I was thinking of coffee when you said Morocco, but yeah. We do love Taco Town, local faves.
Who doesn't? So we're going to be the best, easiest way for you to remember is we're all this can't happen without Emerald Coast TV. So I would start from there. Go to emeraldcoasttv.com. Through there, you'll be able to access the YouTube stream directly from there. If you want to support local, that's the best way to do it. Are we going to do it? Are we going to utilize any other social media like Facebook Live or anything like that?
At this time, I'm not quite sure yet. We could possibly do it to another Facebook. The thing with Facebook and live stream, they're only good for 90 days and then they delete them.
That's a good point. That not even 90. I think it's like 28 days or something.
It's maybe I know it's 30 on Restream. So.
Right, and then when you download them, oftentimes they're hard to even access.
Well, the resolution is also a lot lower too.
So. Right, there's something to be said there. So, whereas we are live streaming this show from Facebook right now, right? Mm-hmm. We're not going to do that for the football game.
Yeah, we just need everybody to remember, go to emeraldcoasttv.com, and you can go ahead and click the link right on the homepage, right to the game. You can go, and then you can go full screen from that page, or you can just go ahead and pull that up. Find out what the link is and pull it up on your YouTube stream. If you want to go on YouTube on your smart TV, you can bypass the website. Just go to Emerald Coast TV on YouTube, and you should be able to go ahead and get the game directly from your smart TV as well. So all you sports bars out there, feel free to go ahead and show some hometown spirit here. Get the things going out there so that families and people are eating and hanging out at restaurants, pubs, stuff like that, can watch the game.
Especially for away games too, because obviously we'd love you to come to Etheredge Stadium when the team is at home.
There's nothing like the energy of a crowd. Like
That's
this.
absolutely right. But away games are definitely where having it play in like a Rick's Crab Trap or something like that, where they have TVs all around, that would be a great little watch party experience. Like you were mentioning earlier, there's a lot of variables involved with taking this production to another stadium. Here we have access to the
press box.
To the press box early. I mean, they had a pep rally a little while ago. We were able to get here up and set up. We have electricity. We know we have internet. With a visiting side, you're not guaranteed access to a press box. For instance, next week, the actual week one, we are on the road at Panama City, Mosley. They have a really, really nice stadium and a very nice press box. It's huge, but there's no room for any visiting team, crew of any sort. So they said they can give us an electrical outlet over on the visitors' side and do what we can to set up what we can over there. So there may be, because of every stadium being different. There's going to be variables involved when we're on the road. But again, those are good opportunities if you can't travel to tune into the stream, and if you own a local business, bring it up on the just the same way you would a Braves game or a Saints game or something.
Well, and like you said, the production value is going to be lower at non-home games just because we don't have, the press booth. But it'll still be there. We'll still have good video. Better than just a cell phone and a radio broadcast. So, yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Some people are going to be able to listen on the radio. Not this game because we're working out the tech, but they'll still be able to listen to it on Omni the way things are working.
We're actually talking with 94.3, which is where the games were played on the radio last year. We're essentially creating a similar signal to how we broadcast the games last year. It would just be a matter of us sharing that with another radio station, and we're still kind of working that out. But the point is the games are going to be done. They're going to be accessible. We're going to need you to help us spread the word, okay? Normally, last year, whenever we ran into issues with our broadcast, I would normally just hold my phone up and go Facebook Live through my own account. I do Facebook Live this show from my own Facebook account. That's also going to be migrating away eventually, right, too?
Might as well.
As well. There's no reason. I don't want it if they're deleting.
If we can monetize it, let's do it.
So that's very difficult to migrate audiences over. So we need you to help us spread the word. Like, share, comment. EmeraldCoastTV.com is where these games and our content are going to begin emanating from.
And Emerald Coast YouTube. Emerald Coast TV YouTube.
Yep, that's correct. Did I articulate that okay, RJ?
Absolutely.
Now, if you are interested in assisting us along the way, because right now, everything you've seen and heard, it's a labor of love. We do, you know what? This button says it all. I love Choctaw, all right? But we would all like to see some of the fruits of the labor as well. This is a business endeavor. There's a lot of time invested in setting up a lot of expensive equipment, getting there early.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that if a business wanted to support us, they would, let us know, and we can actually announce the business name during our broadcast? Is that what you're saying?
I think that's the
maybe
point.
With like a business card, some sort of graphic logo on the screen.
Yeah. You mean you could? Is that something that RJ Murdock of Emerald Coast TV, might be able to provide?
Well, as long as the business provide us with their logo and ching ching.
Yeah, we can put on-screen graphics up, like we just mentioned Taco Town. The first quarter brought to you by Taco Town, or the this timeout brought to you by Timeout Sportswear, whatever. We have the ability to run commercials as well, and video commercials. So if that's something that you would like us to create for you, if that's something that you already have done, and it's like when we're Facebook scrolling and we see like the beach weekend ads and stuff like, if you have something that's already digitally created and you'd like to have that play during our broadcast, during our breaks, the time is now to get in, because we don't have that many of them. So if we have just a few, you're going to get multiple plays. So this is something that we're throwing a lot of things at the wall. We know that we can do a lot of things. We're just trying to figure out how best to make the best use of our time.
And founder pricing as well.
Right,
I mean, you get in ground level, you're basically going to get a little better deal. Like you said, not only multiple iterations, it's just you're getting more bang for the buck and maybe a little better pricing.
And if you're not a business but you just really enjoy the broadcast, we will have a Venmo QR code up on the
we're going to have like a digital tip jar. That's going to be a QR code if you just want to donate. I mean, $1.
Or if you want us to say your name.
Yeah, we can do like a.
We'll do a shout out. We see a cha-ching come up on the phone. We'll say.
Or if you leave a comment and you say, "I've always wanted one of those plastic footballs. I'll Venmo $5 for them. I've got $5. You want a plastic football? Whatever. We're creating our own market here.
Start the bidding now.
Or a vintage Choctaw Indian sticker. I've got a whole roll of them. Look at the thickness of it. Okay. I gotta remember.
We are on school grounds.
Where this is not, we are on school grounds, but it's the daily show that airs at every 3 p.m. It's called For Walton Beach, What We're Doing, and this is what we're doing today. Yep. We are getting ready for football season. The kickoff classic is tonight for Choctaw. Last night, it actually began for a few local teams. Niceville visited Fort Walton, and no spoilers on the outcome of that. We're going to wait till we bring in our Choctaw and our gurus on Choctaw football and on local sports. That's going to be Kevin and Brady. But I really just wanted to thank you guys for being willing to make this as big of a production as possible, as entertaining as it always is with you, Keith.
I try.
You being willing to learn the production side of things, and I'm just excited for a really cool season and all the possibilities that RJ with Emerald Coast TV is going to be able to provide.
Yeah, and we got Coach Torres in the chat here. Are you going to be streaming the game? Yes, he came in right after we talked about that. Yeah, the game will be streaming on EmeraldCoastTV.com and Emerald Coast TV YouTube as well if you want to watch it on your TV. And yeah, are they vintage enough to where they fall apart? Yeah, how vintage are those stickers?
Are you talking about the artifacts or us?
Right, yeah. No, the stairs, I don't think I've walked up 30-something stairs.
72 stairs.
Well, yeah, I mean, 30
steps?
cents. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's, woo.
I've already been up and down it 7 times already.
Yeah, it's pretty rowdy. I'm getting old. But, yeah, hey, live TV, whatever.
Yeah, I thought I had my phone on ring.
But speaking of production, I just want to give a shout out to Everything is Funny. Last night we ran 2 open mics. It was a great time. We had a really good turnout until the end of the night. We had a little fight, drunk people. But, we are performing at bars with alcohol, so that happens. So producer and bouncer of Everything is Funny. It was great. Good time, great comics. Shout out to David Longvall Jr. and his lovely girlfriend, Kayla. We had a great night, and looking forward to that in the future in perpetuity at the Madhouse and at Soundside. 2 great local businesses that they're really helping us out with the comedy scene around here. It's really growing a lot faster than we expected, and yeah, it's great. So
it really is.
Got a good community here.
It's really cool that they stepped up to provide that space for you. I know that you were doing really cool things with Suds, but you were looking for other ways to expand and be seen. And it did not take long at all for Soundside to step up and do that.
It was like a month, and yeah, we really appreciate the whole family out there at Soundside, and it was a good show, but you can't ever, again, it was live, so stuff happens, and it was managed and taken care of pretty quickly, but it was good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Man. Comedy happens.
Comedy happens, yep, and everything is funny.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Well, RJ, thank you so much. You're going to be hanging out in the...
Yeah, we're going to go get back behind the camera and get the other side set up, and we'll get Brady and Kevin in here, and you guys start talking some football.
RJ, one question though: when we do go live during the games, because last year, like I controlled my own breaks. I don't think I'm doing that this year, right? Or am I doing that?
Not at the moment. Not in this room,
okay.
for sure. And in the other room, yes, you will have control of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so football, playing Big Green Indian when they score a touchdown, I'm in control of that as well.
I can put a PSA about closed windows, hot cars.
Hot cars.
Right.
No, we're not doing that. That was too depressing.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and welcome in our Miracle Strip Body Shop guests of the afternoon.
We're going to mute our mics, and we're going to switch over.
Yeah, so they're going to go ahead and bring in the real stars of the football season. We know that Kevin is the I may be the collector, but Kevin is the stat guru. He's the weird fact guru when it comes to Choctaw football. He's got the pedigree. He's got, but we together have Brady Brooks, who turned out to be a huge blessing in disguise last year. Where's Brady? He's in disguise.
Hold on. I'll explain to you. Brady Brooks is in his home away from home. He is over at Campbell Field.
Say that again.
Brady Brooks is at his home.
This is why we do this. This is the preseason kickoff classic. It's also our preseason as well. So, no expectations of perfection, just
Sounds good.
wisdom gained from every small happy accident. So, Kevin, where's Brady Brooks right now?
Brady is en route. Brady is over in his home away from home, Campbell Field, right here on the other side, checking out camera angles. I see him making his way back over here. Brady is looking to include cameras in this year's baseball broadcast. So he's just doing a little scouting while he's texting with Coach Weber.
Well, hats off to Coach Weber, because you and I made a note of this when we were sitting here at Etheredge a couple days ago watching the football team practice, because off to our left we're hearing ting, 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 and they're over. I mean, baseball season just ended like a month and a half ago.
Well, that was an involuntary player-only workout. There were no coaches or administrators present.
Yeah, well, again, hats off to the volunteers who are willing to put in the work for Coach Weber to stay in shape for baseball, and hats off to Brady for already getting out there and planting the seeds.
We're about a year away, and he's already measuring out angles and views and setups and everything like that. So, when this was all coming to fruition last year, baseball for Brady, when he and you said it was a passion, he's backed that up 100%, maybe 110%.
Yeah, for sure. Kevin, you were over there in the room looking at where we're going to be doing the play-by-play at RJ's setup. He's got one tripod with two cameras, one on the left and the right. One camera is kind of zoomed in pretty close to where you can get a close enough view of all 22 players. And then one is pulled way back, and they both shift at the same time. So we're going to have the ability to get a close-up view at something. We're going to have the ability to look back at it from a further away angle. And we're probably going to have the ability to send Brady down for his halftime interview with Coach Beasley, or man on the street interviews in the stands via like a Zoom feature on his phone. I don't know if there's going to be a delay, because right now I'm looking on Facebook, and I can definitely tell there's like a 7-second delay between what I'm saying and what I'm seeing on Facebook.
Yeah, so that could be tricky.
So I don't know how that would play into a Zoom scenario, but that's why we have these kickoff classic opportunities. This is preseason for us too. This is practice. This is not a game. This is practice, man. What are we talking about here?
Kind of like tonight's kickoff classic. What this is it's your final dress rehearsal before the big dance.
Yeah.
It's also internally. Tonight is the night. If you got a quarterback battle, if you got a battle for your starting outside linebacker, your right tackle, it could come down to who plays better tonight, who starts next Thursday night on the first snap of the game. So the kickoff classic is more than just an exhibition, as the famous Tony Burton would say. It's just an exhibition.
Thanks, Duke.
Yeah, but it is an exhibition. It is
Throw the damn towel.
Yeah, it is a dress rehearsal.
It took me a second to catch up to that one.
Yeah. But I figured you'd jump all over that. But no, this tonight is very integral for position battles.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust the color on your screens. No. Brady Brooks is in the house, and he is not wearing Choctaw green or
Breast Cancer Awareness Month colors.
Yeah,
there you go, Brady.
He is repping the
$5 Venmo.
The Trinity Student Ministry, though. So
yeah, well, I figured to get myself into spirit, I would go ahead and run my halftime runner a little early. So
Gareth, a guy that we all three know very well. Big news out of Trinity. Does anybody want to break that?
Matt Hull.
Matt Hull.
Hired as a teacher.
Meg's Middle School, our alma mater.
I get it. You might take us at 72 steps.
After a trip over to Campbell Field.
You know what Brady reminds me of in the pink shirt? When you sit in the audience at the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular experience at MGM Studios. I like how it's Hollywood Studios, but I shop with the old name. Mm-hmm. And they always have the plant or the guy that's out in the audience that has the bright colored shirts. So they can ask for volunteers and then randomly select the guy who's going to take the 3-story football.
Randomly, the guy in the neon pink shirt. Now,
right. Did
you see a couple months ago when the ball went rogue? Injured the performer and bounced up into the crowd and injured a few crowd members.
It seems like it always goes rogue.
The boulder.
I don't think it's ever had a successful show. It seems like every week I'm reading about it.
I enjoy the heck out of it, and it's no matter how many times I've seen it, every time I go to Hollywood Studios, I go out of my way to go there.
Chris Torres, the coach at Pryor Middle School, says looking forward to coming on the show, gents. Yeah, we are looking forward to rescheduling that with you as well. We hope that you have a great season upcoming. I mean, you guys are the future of Choctaw football. So.
Well, I hope he has a great season, except for when they play Meigs.
Except I got to be loyal
Sorry
to the
about that,
Wildcats.
Coach.
I am actually hoping they go undefeated.
Fight on, you mighty Wildcats.
It's so great that Chris Torres got that job, though. I know the opening came up for Pryor, and Chris Torres is like, if you know anything about youth sports in the area, you know Chris Torres, big name. So I'm really glad he got that spot. I think he'll do great there.
So I think that you're going to do great things, Brady. Kevin and I are very excited that we even get the opportunity to do this with you again, because up until about a month and a half ago, we were under the assumption that you were enjoying your post-senior graduatory experience and getting ready to head off to college elsewhere. Instead, you decided to do what? Why don't you fill our listeners in?
Yeah, well, I decided to not go to Tallahassee yet. I will after I get my associates from Northwest Florida. I will be going to Northwest Florida. I'm going to be paying for the first 2 years of my college in cash. Just got done paying for that first semester, which is it's no fun. I had to pay for that and the termination fee for my lease in Tallahassee. So $4,500 later, we're here, we're staying. I'm happy, and I'm ready to get to some Choctaw football with you guys with this great new setup that we have, which they're going to see tonight. But you should have seen me and Kevin were touring it. It's 4 cameras, audio, video setup. It is going to blow last year out of the water.
And as Gareth touched on earlier, I truly believe as we matriculate, like Gareth would like to say, through the season, I believe we will have more hooks and ladders, boom mics, trips out to the crowd, trips down to the sidelines, different angles, different views. I think this broadcast will grow as the season progresses.
Undoubtedly so. I have reached out to Mosley already. Kind of touched on this earlier. Their athletic director, very nice guy. Very big press box over there.
6,138 square feet.
Not enough room for us. Okay, no
3
platforms
stories.
off to the
Allegedly.
side. Nothing. So we do have access to the top of the visitor side, and they do have electricity over there, which is a bonus. That is never a guarantee with visitor sides.
Not what you had to do with the extension cord at St. Augustine.
At St. Augustine, I personally went and bought like the thickest, longest extension cord there was that had like 3 little outlets at the end, so I could have the distance and options to plug it into, and just to cover my bases, just so I could go live on Facebook, and I'll never do that again. By the way, FHSAA, I understand.
Coach Thigpen.
Without written consent.
Actually, for you tech junkies, you gearheads, those are called male prongs.
Is that
Male.
Male prongs.
Got to specify, because there's female ones.
The female prongs is the one that it plugs into.
I want to.
And that makes electricity.
Yeah, I've noticed over the off season that every Choctaw news or Choctaw football news I come across is just talking about the Final Four season and how is this good of a season. We had this many wins, which I'm a huge fan of. It was a really fun season last year, but I really want to try to make it a point these early few weeks to almost like forget about that for a while, because we've heard so much about it. And I know every interview I see Frank Beasley and they ask him like, oh wow, how was it to go to the Final Four last year? And I can almost sense him being like, guys, we got a new season of football to play. So it was good to enjoy. We've had a whole off season to sit on it, but I don't want to be a Final Four team anymore. I don't want to be state runner-up. I want to be a state champion. I know all the players in there feel like that. All the coaches feel like that. So it was a really fun season, and that St. Augustine game was really fun. The Lake City game, the American Heritage, even though we lost, that was really fun. But I'm ready for this season. I'm ready to talk about another deep playoff run, another array of wins, another however many quarters without giving up a touchdown. I'm ready to move on.
I think Brady, piggyback offing what you said, Gareth, as well. I think Coach Beasley would be the first one to tell you, last year's gone, it's over, it doesn't matter, put it out of your mind, let's step forward.
Absolutely. No doubt he would say that. It's really great to have the support of Coach Beasley. We've talked about actually bringing him into our downtown studios where this show normally emanates from, RJ Murdock's Emerald Coast TV studios, and having like a Coach Frank Beasley show every week.
And if that comes to fruition, I'm almost just as excited for that as I am for the games themselves. That's going to be a side of people see Frank as the head football coach at Choctaw, and they're going to continue to see that on the Frank Beasley show, but I think they're going to get to see Frank Beasley, the person.
Yeah.
Who's pretty cool and funny and outgoing, and there's a good side of Frank that a lot of people don't see that I think people would like to see and will get the chance to see.
Yeah, I agree. It was really cool. Obviously I had the unique position of going down to the field and talking to him at halftime of every game. And
Yeah.
I think it'll be very wise to make sure those are one of the things that we don't broadcast. I think that Beasley should probably have that to, we
That
want to
should stay between you guys.
give him time to stew. It was really fun, not only being out of breath on my way back up, but trying to figure out how to paraphrase all the things that he said and be able to fit them into a radio persona. But he's a really great guy, and he supports the broadcast. So I'm excited that fans are going to be able to kind of step into my shoes a little bit and get to talk to him and dive in. He's got a really, really broad football mind. And
Yeah.
you ask anybody that played for him or played with him or coached with him when he was on the team back in the 90s, they will tell you that he was born and bred to be a football lifer.
But that's what it goes back to with Frank. As you said, playing football here at 92 through 95, passion, pride, tradition. It just means more to guys like him.
It does.
And they're going to put forth more of an effort to bring the program to where. But let's not beat around the bush. And this is nothing towards Greg Thomas, Lionel Fayard, Bobby Cox, Bobby Moore. Frank Beasley's brought this program to levels it's never seen, and he's maintained that level. Choctaw's been here occasionally, once every X amount of years. With Frank, it's an every year thing, and that shows his passion and his pride from being an alum shows. And those guys that I just mentioned, none of them went to Choctaw. None of them graduated from Choctaw. None of them played at Choctaw. And I feel like at the high school, middle school, college level, when you're hired to be the head coach of your alma mater, you just have a little extra motivation than a guy that you just hire as your head coach.
Because it's the school he loves so dearly.
Yeah, they call her Old Choctaw High.
That's right.
Yeah, but in the same way, I think it's really cool to look at what Fort Walton's got going and Coach Pulliam there. He was a graduate. Oh, sorry. I can't think of their name. They wear the red and blue. They're over there, whatever, across town.
They played a game last night against
They did, and
Niceville. They had their own kickoff classic.
Yes, they did.
Do you guys have an update on that?
I have an update on it. Brady, know anything about it?
As sure as the sun rises, Fort Walton lost. So.
Yeah, Niceville's varsity won 24-7. Jacoby Gilliard had a 5-yard touchdown run. Quarterback
scary.
Deegan McCoy had a 10-yard touchdown run. I will say Lavin McDaniel and Tyshawn Montgomery were the
Former
standouts.
Choctawhatchee
Yeah,
Indian.
former Choctawhatchee Indian. He scored their lone touchdown on an 11-yard end around. But as Brady said, I know him on a personal level. I know Brady on a personal level. But Josh Pulliam, a great guy, great father, great coach. And unfortunately, he's going to get that ship sailing back in the right direction sooner than later.
Yeah, I'm excited for the week this year where we play him because, Pulliam is a great guy. And I think that's another interesting storyline is it's got to mean something when you go to your alma mater's rival.
And let's not forget, Josh Pulliam played football here on this field.
Exactly.
Graduated on this field.
Well, not this turf, but.
No. That's Brady, is that a story you'd like to go into? Because I thought it was a very valid, interesting thing you brought up.
I am the only class to ever graduate on a Choctaw turf field.
I do see that we have.
Gareth, did you hear that?
I did see that. Yeah, I heard that. But I also see that Principal Richard Bounds is watching our show.
Mr. Bounds, I saw him at my work a couple weeks ago. We got a chance to catch up.
He is such a good dude. The guy doesn't age. As a matter of fact, I've got a picture of him here from the 1970s that I'm going to hold up to the camera. And I believe this is in the old teacher's lounge back in the day. And what I particularly enjoy about this image is, Mr. Bounds is in it, but there is a teacher or another administrator who's sitting on the couch next to him, and she is smoking a cigarette.
That was back in the days where you could smoke in the teacher's lounge, because I remember catching a quick peek, Gareth, at Ocean City. I was walking to I believe it was Susan Palmer's office for something, and somebody happened to be coming out of the teacher's lounge, and I saw a teacher that I'm not going to mention, and they're smoking a cigarette, and I was just like,
Yeah,
at such a young age, when you see something like that, it's nothing traumatic, but it was just like,
pre-9/11.
it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. It shows that they're a regular person and they're not a robot and a teacher. It shows that they're just like you and I. They just happen to be, hired as an educator.
I kind of just said pre-9/11 just because, obviously so many safety standards and everything were changed. But I've kind of found myself a new catchphrase in the fact that, like, say me, you, and Gareth were doing football. If Gareth messes up and, like, RJ gets onto him, I would say, the safest day to fly on a plane was the day after 9/11. Because right after it happens, you're on super lock, and because that really was the safest
Right,
day. They were not
right.
letting anyone on. So, like, if you're fighting, if you're getting a write-up at work and they're like, should we trust this won't happen again? You're like, well, the safest day to fly was on the day after 9/11.
Well, on multiple levels. A, because your point makes sense, and B, because all the planes were grounded that day.
Boom. 2 days after 9/11.
Yeah.
I guess I'll
Yeah.
proofread it.
No. Your point is well received. Chris Torres, the coach of Pryor Middle School, says, Brady, remember the seniors on Choctaw's football team this year with the 8th graders at Pryor who were undefeated but lost in the championship, plus additions that transferred in, so it's a pretty special group of players.
Yeah, I know Coach Torres, and he'll tell you this too. He had a lot to do with the evolving of Mario and Ellis Alloway, which are now going to be alumni. They were graduated in the class with me. They were 2 units.
Let's pour some out for our homie.
Yeah, they're off playing college ball. But those guys, Vontavious Keller, who we're going to see, I cannot wait to talk up the running back room.
A healthy Vontavious
Yes,
Keller. We were not
hopefully
able
that's
to
what we
say
get.
that last year.
Yeah, last year early he was hurt, and then Dante Whidbey, I feel so bad. He battled injuries for so long, and then like on the first play of the Columbia game, he broke his collarbone. But it is, I've not heard one person not talk to me about this team and just fail to hype up the running back room, where we're going to have Swiss Army Knife, who is now named Captain America, Carter Morocco in the backfield, with Dante Whidbey, with Vontavious Keller. The only bad thing I have to say about it is they're going to have to do a lot of redirecting next year when all 3 of them graduate. But you have 3 really, really hot running backs. And not to mention, Carter Morocco is your backup quarterback, maybe. So you can draw up so many plays where you throw him out on a bubble screen and this, that, and the third. He played tight end some last year. So that's a really exciting part of this team.
And let's not forget, guys, when you have that much talent coming back from the running back position, there's a very important thing called having all 5 offensive linemen back from last year.
Yeah.
Oh, and they are a big
Very
offensive
big.
line.
We got the Paytons, who
Yeah.
are a combined 13 foot tall and over 600 pounds.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're announcing the Twin Towers
Yeah,
tag
Akeem and
and the big boss
There's
man.
a lot of early 2000s New York talk going on.
yeah, Kevin Bravo. Kevin Bravo's back from injury, and I was told by Coach Plott last year he actually was the highest graded out lineman on the team.
There we go.
So, but all starters will be back, and we had lucky enough to have Peyton Robinson decided to move into this area and come over here to Choctaw, and he has Division I offers, and we're very lucky to have him. Very lucky that they made the decision to move into the Panhandle.
I will say Peyton Youssef came into Chick-fil-A, which is where I work, earlier this week, and I was on break, and I greeted him. It was one of the Reese brothers and Peyton Robinson as well. And Peyton Youssef and Peyton Robinson, when they walked over to me, it was like the sun got caught up behind them, and I was just overarched with shadow. They are
13 feet,
huge.
600 pounds combined. I mean, that's a total eclipse of the heart.
They are huge.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because it's hard to get depth chart and 1s and 2s on hold on one second. Let me tell them.
I don't think the 1s and 2s have been decided yet.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know that when I was talking to Peyton Youssef, he went out of his way to tell me that he was really, really excited to see how Marco Pena blocked. He said that Marco Pena is going to be, in his opinion, he's his favorite lineman to work with, and he thinks he's going to be like the standout. But yeah, with Pena, who was injured.
Okay, I might have gotten Bravo and Pena mixed up. My apologies. But whoever the one that was injured last year, towards the end of the year.
That was Youssef, I thought.
No.
Youssef missed the first 6 weeks, and then when he came back, we lost Pena.
So it wasn't Kevin Bravo's. Marco Pena was actually the highest graded out lineman, and he's also returning. And so when you have that full of a running back room, coupled with a first-year quarterback, 5 returning linemen is the biggest blessing you can have.
Yeah, and Peyton Robinson told me, and I need to,
at left tackle, which cements him as your best, most talented offensive lineman.
Ashton LaBerge was our left tackle last year, and he graduated on. He did great, but Peyton Robinson told me that there is an Oregon commit that he's going to have to block somewhere in this year, so I'm excited for that week to
Probably
come up.
Thompson, Alabama.
Probably, because I know we faced Trenton Henderson with Pine Forest last year, the LSU commit, and we handled him pretty well. It was really interesting to see how Beasley kind of and that seemed like a turning point, too, when the offense kind of started coming around was when they drew in those rollouts for Taman Zabatakis where he could roll out and kind of keep himself alive. So I'm really excited to see how the quarterback play adapts now that we have a new offensive coordinator, passing game coordinator that's in here. And
a new quarterback.
And
exactly.
Gareth, like I said, what what could a first-year new quarterback ask for than a loaded running back room and 5 returning offensive linemen?
Not much more. Maybe, and I wouldn't even add a little more talent because this quarterback is very talented. I think a lot of people have been going into this offseason wondering what Choctaw was going to do at the gunslinger position, and we were included because it's not that we didn't have options. The Morocco brothers have both been very, very adequate whenever they've been asked to fill in.
5-1 as a starter, only lost to Niceville. That's impressive.
We got our first look at who we perceive to be this year's starter, Baker Giles. He is a junior. He does have starting experience elsewhere. He's originally from Santa Rosa Beach. He averaged 10 yards per rush last year. That's a lot. I mean, that's a first down per carry. Yeah. His completion percentage is a little lower than we think we'd probably like to see. It was about 44% last year. But the way he was slinging it at practice this week, I think he's either improved on it or there was some anomalies last year. Now, the big question, I think, so I guess to sum that up is if you had concerns going into the year at quarterback, not only do I think that we're pretty okay, emphasis on pretty okay, I think our backup situation is very good as well. But Kevin, who do you think we're going to be throwing to beyond DJ Spence this year?
It's got to be. Recently, East Carolina offered Rhino Burks.
Yeah.
He was injured last year. Keeping up with Choctaw football on social media, the guy had a tremendous summer, just an outstanding 7-on-7 tour. And really picked up a lot of Division I offers without actually playing a game in full pads. And that just shows his potential. And he's got great size, Brady, for an H-back. I believe he's, 6'3", 6'4", 220?
Yeah, Rhino, he's probably 6'5".
And then, Choctaw's so athletic that you could pretty much take somebody from almost any skill position, and put him at wide receiver and be successful. That's how athletic this team is.
Yeah, and we saw whenever Rhino went down, which was the first play of the Niceville game, where he broke his collarbone, and even though he was cleared to play against American Heritage, that would have been that was the day where he was cleared to participate. So he would have went in with no practice. He hadn't hit anybody in a month, 2 months, which it wouldn't have been smart.
That's not a team you want to go in rusty against.
It would have put his health in jeopardy for this year. And even though at the time I was a little upset and I was thinking you need everyone you can get, you severely underestimate how much that experience is to have when you go in against a bunch of guys who were admittedly bigger than us and they were stronger than us, and you take one hit over the middle after not taking a hit for 2 months, that could get to you mentally. So excited to have him back healthy. But when he went down, we saw the tight end position was still utilized with Giovanni Marino, who came up from JV for a little bit. Carter Morocco, they even threw at tight end, who had some big plays in the playoffs at tight end.
Yeah.
So when you add that kind of athleticism and size there at the tight end spot, they love to throw up over the middle, and he's going to be a guy that can go up and get it.
And Gareth, as you mentioned, we had a chance to visit practice earlier this week, and we did see Carter Morocco lined up in the slot quite often.
We sure did.
Not to give anything away. We might be joking, guys.
You're right. He was throwing blocks. He's not called the Swiss.
Not Roblox.
The Swiss Army knife for no reason at all. It's going to be fun to see wherever they put him on the field this year. What about defense? Let's talk about the numbers that we have returning on defense. We've got some position changes. Jack Morocco, who was our backup quarterback last year, he's moving over to the defensive side.
Yeah.
He's a big athlete, big time baseball player. He shouldn't have any issues adjusting with that. But do you foresee a step back for the defense this year? I mean, it's pretty hard to last year it was the top of the totem pole, right?
Well, I would say that, but with Terrence Brooks coming back, who's been an absolute culture change for Choctaw, I know there was some speculation that maybe he may be going to Tampa Bay to accept a role there, but that was just kind of a preseason thing. We thought last year going into the season that the defense was going to step back when we lost guys like Tristan Jackson and Dante Core and all of these talented players, but then that's when you saw Boston Murray and DeMonte up the middle, Jabari Weeks, and all these players step up. Jordan Long. Jordan Locke had like
Jordan
2 pick
Figueroa,
sixes.
what-
Jordan Figueroa at deep too as well. And Jordan Figueroa, him and Jack are very, very close comparisons in terms of just like Jordan Figueroa was a God-given athlete. You could see as soon as he was born, he was given the ability to do anything he wanted as long as he put his heart to it, and he did. And Jack Morocco, I see a lot of the similar things in him. He's got a similar stature, and I'm really excited. He's been committed to playing defense, and if there's anybody that could develop players defensively when it comes to instincts and especially when it comes to scheming, it's Terrence Brooks. He did some very impressive things. And he knows how to make every single player play to their strengths and throw them onto the field, all 11 of them, and just make it look as good as it can. So I'm thinking maybe statistically, since we're playing a little bit of a harder schedule, it won't be the same as it was last year. I don't think we're going to go 12 quarters without giving up a score
I
like
don't
we
see
did.
a lot of running clocks.
Yeah, I don't see running clocks this year, but I think that the athletes that we have on the field will be enough for Terrence Brooks to be able to show what he's got.
Brady, here's the big question. It's something that we talked about a couple weeks ago from a post we saw on social media. Is Terrence Brooks still here? Is he with the Tampa Bay
He
Buccaneers?
is still here.
Was that an old photo?
That was just, I checked in with Jack Morocco and Carter Morocco and crew. I guess that was just a preseason thing. I guess
Okay.
he was going and just coaching him up a little bit. He will be our defensive coordinator this season.
Well, co-defensive coordinator Cortland Fuller is also
Yes,
a very,
he's also
very
there.
big part of
Yeah.
the scheme and the defense and the X's and O's.
Well, speaking of X's and O's, we're going to be bringing them to you tonight at 7 p.m. for the kickoff classic between Choctawhatchee High School and Panama City Bay.
The Tornadoes.
If you are just tuning in, we thank you. This is we normally do for Walton Beach what we're doing from our downtown Fort Walton Beach studios. We are doing them today from the press box here at Etheredge Stadium. Why? Because we want to have all of our equipment set up because we are basically transitioning over to the next room over here in the press box to broadcast with television cameras tonight the kickoff classic. This is the first time in years that Choctaw football has been attempted to do this on a consistent basis. RJ Murdock was the one that was doing it back in the early 2010s, and he is excited to be back on board with us. Kevin, you weren't on the headset when I mentioned this, neither are you, Brady, but I've already used the line of how we're standing on the shoulders of giants. We take this responsibility we're honored to have it. We don't take it lightly. And we want your suggestions on what we can do to make the broadcast better. What would you like to see more of, hear more of? Who would you like us to bring in as guests? Do you have a particular guest in mind that is tied to Choctaw football that would make for an interesting conversation during a pregame or during a halftime? Are you a business owner who would be interested in sponsoring the first quarter, the halftime, the pregame show, the Coach Frank Beasley show, the timeouts during the game, the halftime show, the statistics, the statistical recap, whatever? There's opportunity to spread the word about your business that we can give to you that we did not have last year with radio alone.
Gareth, we know about the game. Can you tell everybody where this show can be found right now today and where it's streaming?
That's a great question and thing to bring up because normally we're streaming from my Facebook page. Tonight we are going through emeraldcoasttv.com. Okay, we're going to have a YouTube stream embedded in that site. So we want you to help out RJ Murdock because he's the one that's helping us out do that. So yes, you can go to YouTube. There is an Emerald Coast TV YouTube account that you can hopefully subscribe to because our games are going to be streaming via YouTube.
Yep.
We'd
ultimately
to your smart TVs with the push of a button.
That's correct. That's the benefit of doing that because they are on all smart TVs and devices. But we would love for you to go to emeraldcoasttv.com and use that as the pass-through to view the footage because we're locals helping locals here, and this is a labor of love. We would do this for free. It would be nice to turn it into something that would justify the amount of time and expense that we're putting into this endeavor to make it look as professional and come across as professionally as we could possibly do.
Bring you guys the best coverage of such a great product that deserves the best coverage.
Yeah.
And then also, Gareth, maybe something, if it's possibly logistically, maybe business sponsor could possibly be a host of the Frank Beasley Show.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
I mean,
On location, like that would be great.
Yeah, and we talk about that, and we could say that we're taking time away, so we need to be paid. But I really want to make sure that RJ gets his due diligence when it comes to getting everything sorted for him. Because if you guys could come to the behind the scenes and see the amount of cameras and production, and even since I've gotten here and before, he was here setting everything up, and it is so much, and he does a lot for us. So we want to make sure that he appropriately gets compensated for what he's doing as well, because we did this, basically for free. I know, Gareth, you made maybe a little bit of money off selling the sponsorships, but we love doing this, and we would do it for free if we needed to. So obviously it's just an all generous thing, and it's a blessing that we got to, broadcast this on Emerald Coast TV and YouTube, where it's free to watch for you guys. So if you feel it and you have the generosity, that'd be awesome.
At this point where we don't really, I've got Miracle Strip Body Shop as my sponsor for this show, and he sponsors my guests. I've got Jimmy's Guns and Safes, who sponsor my local news for Walton Beach, what we're doing. But as far as the Choctaw football broadcast this season, it's pretty much a clean slate right now. There is an opportunity to get in on the ground floor. Sorry to be so cliche, but if you are one of the only one of the few here in the early going that take advantage of that, that means you're going to get your commercial played a lot more throughout the game and throughout the Coach Frank Beasley show and throughout any time we want to take a break during Fort Walton Beach, what we're doing, or really any of the content that we're going to begin producing on a more regular basis moving forward from RJ Murdock's Emerald Coast TV studios located in downtown Fort Walton Beach.
Buy the whole halftime show. You get every halftime show for the entire season if you come in right now.
It sure would make it a lot easier on us.
We could give our viewers a video tour of your business.
And not that we want to make it edgy or anything like that, but because we're away from radio, if we accidentally were to say, oh, something, it's not as
Shite.
But we also recognize where this is an opportunity here, and we're representing the school. So just something to keep in mind. What's up, Coach? How you doing? How much in the way are we right now for you?
He's just setting up the scoreboard.
He's setting up the school board, and we're going to have the ability this year to tap into that school board and project it onto our television screen. So you're going to be able to keep up with the time remaining. The score itself will be able to project. If you're a business that's sponsoring something, you can put your logo, your phone number. We could even, there are options where you could have like a crawl across the bottom of like people in a live stream, like a live chat or something.
Yeah.
If they could pay $1 to say, go Big Green, or that call was crap, or whatever.
We'll give you a shout out. We'll say, hey, thank you for watching Bill Smith.
Exactly. So that's.
Or Bill Smith, class of 92, says go Big Green.
Austin McLean just says DJ Hall. So did we bring him up, or did
Not today.
Yeah,
we brought up Magic Hall, his brother.
What about Magic Johnson? Can we tag him in the feed?
I don't know, but
Give
I
us
mean,
some
We have
publicity.
to ask Cookie.
I was watching footage of us at a Megs game back in 2002.
Against Ruckle.
No, it was Lewis.
But at Eagle Stadium.
Right.
Okay.
Back when Lewis still had a football team,
Yeah.
they stopped having a
Green and
football
white.
team in 2010, 2011. It was really cool to see those uniforms, and I think that DJ Hall might have been playing for Megs then. When did DJ graduate Choctaw?
2002.
Okay, so why were we at? Oh, because my dad was the official. That's
Yes.
why we were at that game.
He had a great ref throw, I think mid-third
flag.
quarter.
Coach Floyd, Chris Torres just commented in the Facebook stream, Coach Floyd, get out of there.
get
we are
slippery.
in his way.
He's got a face
you
for
know?
TV. We want him in here.
Yeah, for real. It's always good to have the cooperation of the
first
coaching
time-
staff and the community here.
Yeah, the first time we talked to Beasley, I really want to ask whenever we're going to get that new scoreboard we've been promised for the last decade. I feel like COVID set us back probably 15 years on that thing.
On the scoreboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last update I had was that they were about halfway there in terms of the funds that they were trying to raise
About
for it.
50%.
Yeah, it's about that, yeah. And it definitely is in need of a replacement.
We
We've got
probably have the oldest scoreboard of all the stadiums that we visit.
and the nicest stadium. Look at the size of the stadium and just the look. I mean, this is a very cool. We've been to a lot of stadiums, right?
This is one of the nicer
ones. We've got this new turf. We've got plenty of seats for the visiting fans. I mean, do you remember in the old days when they used to set up the stadiums, the bleachers?
Yeah, they would
in
get
the
them
end
from Ferry
zones?
Park and Seabreeze and Jet Stadium, bring them over, and yep.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to start cleaning up my stuff, because I'm sure there's going to be more Coach Floyd's here in a little bit. So
And some Mike Websters too.
some Mike Webster's for
Oh.
sure. He does a great
a
job. as
Mike
the
Webster
PS,
cameo
as the PA
here.
guy. Yeah.
A Mike Webster cam might be quite interesting.
He's such an iconic voice for Choctaw football. Whenever you
Yes.
think about sitting in the stadium watching a game, you just hear Mike Webster talking
How
about.
many years has he got doing it now?
I don't know. I just remember as a freshman sitting in here and just hearing Jesse,
Well before that,
Jesse
yeah.
Winslet and crew coming back out on the field.
That's a
Iconic.
pretty good Webster you
You
just
fed
did.
all that into that Tupperware container?
It's pretty impressive,
That's
isn't it?
very impressive.
Thank you.
But it's always, more. It's always harder to put it back than it is to put it in.
I made it to Life Scout and the Boy Scouts. But how about these old school Choctaw drinking vessels, though, huh?
They could be yours for $10 on Venmo.
I wish we still busted out shades of yellow in our
Yeah.
in our color schemes.
Maybe homecoming.
What about this one?
Well, baseball did until what, 2 years
rob a
ago,
train
Brady?
or-
Weren't there a
The-
lot of yellow in the jersey?
Yeah, we once those yellow ones got passed down to JV 2 years ago, and I think they still wear them. Maybe I have some
They
nice
do.
shots of me wearing
Yeah.
a yellow number 5. I was 5, Freddie Freeman. You know it.
No.
How about those Braves lately?
How
though,
about Matt
How about
Olson,
those
Freddie
Braves?
who? How about that spill Freddie took in the dugout?
Yeah, that was rough. That was
I mean, he's not getting younger.
No, he's not. He's and it's funny because he's still like you hear he's in the middle of a bad week and he'll be hitting like 193, and then you look at his expecting batting average and it's like 303.
Mm-hmm.
He's still pumping, and I think that looking back in hindsight, the Olsen Freddie Freeman kind of debates, I think that it was a win-win for both sides. I think the Braves maintained a good position, the Dodgers maintained a good position,
They got a World Series or two out of it.
and a World Series MVP from Freddie Freeman. So
Yeah.
people forget.
Walk-off grand slam, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, 2 years ago he had a walk-off grand slam in Game 1 when he ended up winning the World Series MVP. Last year he had a walk-off home run in the 15th inning of, I think, Game 5 of the World Series.
Yes.
So he's produced for him, and Matt Olson also had a 54 home run season where he would have won MVP had Acuna not won it. And
With what, 132
141 RBIs,
41,
I
yeah.
think, and 141 knocked in 162 games is absolutely crazy. He hasn't missed a game in 6 years since he played for the Athletics, so every single game that the Braves have played, only once has he not popped in the first base position, and it was when they had to substitute him out of first base and put him in right field earlier this year. Every other at-bat he's ever taken was as a first
He's
baseman.
got a Cal Ripken streak going on.
He's got an Iron Man streak, and if he wanted
Hopefully
to,
not a Cal Raleigh streak, though.
oh yeah,
The
he's
big
he's on a
dumper.
rough-
He's
for a
he's
reason.
living up to his name this year
Yeah.
for sure.
61 home runs last year, 58 hits this year.
Yeah, it's something.
And a 156 batting
Yeah.
average or
And
something.
where did Cal Raleigh play college baseball?
FSU, FSU, yeah.
Thanks,
and,
guys.
And go Knowles. I can now say that because I technically am going to go to FSU.
Oh, I thought you were
so-
talking about FAMU,
No.
the premier university in Tallahassee.
And that's the thing too is with Olsen, he hits a little bit less than Freeman, but he'll hit the
Well,
homers.
yeah,
and-
they didn't get Matt Olson to hit 280 or 300. They got Matt Olson to hit 30 home runs and 100 RBIs.
when Acuna hits a leadoff double.
And to never miss a game.
Yeah.
Well, that was an unexpected bonus.
And
I mean, who could expect that sort of Iron Man
It
status
is
these
absolutely
days?
nuts. I wasn't alive when Cal Ripken was doing it, but even with Olsen's streak right
I feel
now,
old.
I think he has to. I think what I saw is he'd have to still play the next 8 or 9 years without missing a game, maybe even 11 years
It's
without
like
missing a game.
13, I think.
Yeah, if he wanted to get to Ripken, he'd have to play every game until he's like 46.
How about this question? If he were to retire today, is he in the
No.
Hall of Fame?
Not today.
Then what more does he need to do to get there?
If he can put up 3 or 4 more seasons, I think he's at 320 something home runs right now. I think he should be able to get to 450. I think 450 will be fine, 430-ish. As long as that batting average career is up 240, 250, I think right now it's sitting at maybe like 260, which he's gotten a lot better since he got to Atlanta about getting his hands up and actually hitting for average as well and being able to gap some balls instead of just hitting homers, pull side. I think he's fine. I think if he just keeps going, he doesn't have to overperform his career average. Just keep going. He'll make the Hall of Fame in 4 or 5 years. But right now, if he were to retire, I don't know. It'd be close. He does need to get a World Series. He does not have a ring yet. So that would definitely help out his conversation a lot. Braves haven't won a playoff series since 2021 when they won the World Series.
Do you want to say it or do you want me to?
Prior to the playoffs and prior to that World Series win, they were on a streak of not winning them either. They would be the best team in the regular season, and then just
The
crap
bats
the
would
bed.
disappear.
2020, the 3-1 lead given up to the Dodgers in the
Yeah.
NLCS. 2019, Game 5 of the NLDS. Mike Fultonevich gave up 10 runs in the first inning, which was, at the time, the most runs ever given up in the first inning of a playoff game until the Braves let the Dodgers break that record on them the next year when they gave up 11 runs in the
Gareth,
first
was that
inning.
Fulte or Lightningberg that has ties to the Panhandle?
I don't remember either.
It's one of the two is from this area.
I know Jeff Francoeur makes
Yeah,
his
he
home
lives
here.
out in 38, but either Kerry Lightning or Mike Fultonevich is from the Panhandle.
Well, he can go ahead and get out because that was one of the first games I really watched as a Braves fan. 2018, you can't blame them. They were young. They played the Dodgers, who had Machado, who was on that crazy run. That's when they lost to Red Sox in the World Series. And before that, there was a lot of struggle with Freddie Freeman and being like the heart of that team, and they really hadn't been good since Chipper. But they're not a very, for the talent that they've had, I think it's a lot like the 90s. In the 90s, 95 was one of the worst teams that the Braves fielded, and they won the World Series. And for the 2020s, other than maybe last year because of injuries, 2021 was the worst team that the Braves fielded, and that was the only team that won the World Series in this decade so far. So,
Brady, who do you see as a big sleeper this year coming out of the National League?
oh man, that's interesting, and I really want to say the Nationals had they added pitching at the deadline, but with an offense that good, we just heard today that C.J. Abrams is going to be moving from shortstop to second base because his defense really isn't that good. The Nationals right now are on track to break the record for the most saves blown in a season
Yes.
before they even reach like the 3/4 mark. If they had converted 3/4 of their saves, they would be like neck and neck with us for the lead in the NL East right now. And instead, they're teetering out of the playoffs.
Gareth, until they started to sell like Freddie Peralta, I was going to say Milwaukee.
Yes, Milwaukee.
Which is, you know how the natives pronounce Milwaukee?
No,
It's Algonquin. It's pronounced Milwaukee.
that's Algonquin.
For the good land.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Milwaukee a sleeper.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's a lot of syllables added on. They're really, really good, okay? And the problem with them is that they haven't been able to make it deep. And last year, I don't feel bad for other baseball teams. It's not my blood. But they had to run through the Dodgers, who were murking everybody down until they got to the Blue Jays in the World Series. And then they played, in my opinion, the greatest World Series of all time against Toronto, where there was an 18-inning game. The Game 7 was back and forth all throughout the game. It was crazy.
I think George Springer just went ham, didn't he?
It was, and I mean, they had the play where Mickey Rojas throwing home with the walk-off run coming home, bang, bang, play at the plate, and all that. We had Kike Hernandez going up to make that catch, but I digress. The Brewers have a talented team. Jacob Mizorowski, though, facing some arm fatigue problems.
Miz.
You wish they had a better bullpen so they could give him a little bit of rest down the stretch, but that's kind of a struggle Milwaukee has.
That's why the trading of their best pitcher, Freddie Peralta, to the Rays is just such a head scratch.
Well, speaking of the Rays, someone who's not blowing saves these days is
Brian Baker.
Choctaw graduate of class of 2013, Brian Baker.
Played right there.
He is the closer for the Tampa Bay Rays. He has a 1.55 ERA in 48 games pitched this year. He is leading Major League Baseball with 34 saves. He has a record of 1-0. Teams are batting 150 against him. 150.
Unreal.
Yeah, the Rays are on a really, really hot streak right
What's
now.
his
He's a
whip?
big reason to that.
His whip?
His whip.
His whip is 0.84.
If
That
you're
is
under
crazy.
one, you're doing good. Oh, guys, breaking news. We are slowly starting to see the team congregate out on the practice field. Looks like maybe a pregame huddle, walk-through meeting kind of thing. But there's definitely some action that's getting me a little fired up.
Few cheers now for Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, walks. WHIP stands for walks and hits per innings pitched for anyone unfamiliar. So
Whips.
Brian Baker is, in his usual inning of closing, isn't even giving up a base runner.
Brady, the question you asked me earlier this week about the polo, right there, where that lady's setting up.
There we go.
And I plan on visiting that myself because we were not afforded gear before the season that we were last year. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that myself.
I
may
do
go
need
buy
some new
myself
gear.
some.
I've lost a couple of calories since last season. So
I've gained a couple. I've gained a couple, Coach. So that large you gave me, it's not working for me anymore.
Yeah. But
I appreciate Frank thinking that I was going to be able to pull off a large. That meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not. It's a belly shirt.
That might be the band that's over there getting ready to practice.
No, that's the team. They're in 3-point stances.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and to answer your question, if I had to pick one sleeper, the Cubs. Cubs added really good at the deadline. They added Kevin Gausman. They added another starter, another bullpen piece. Their offense is a little I mean,
inconsistent,
yeah.
like the Fathers.
They're hitting 215, 220.
The Fathers added Robbie Ray. They
Yeah.
have pitching, but what does Tatis have?
Fathers.
3 home runs this year?
Yeah.
Like Peter
Well,
McAllister?
The Fathers.
he didn't hit his
father.
first home run until right around, before the All-Star break. I think he's got it up to like the 8-10 range. So,
Yeah, I think Machado's batting in the 220s,
Yeah,
230s.
I don't even know if he's up at the 200s.
They traded Arias, who's probably the best base hitter in all of MLB.
Yeah.
They traded him to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is
Ooh,
scary.
look at that. He's got the virtual
Oh,
tip jar
that's awesome. So you
up
can see
there on
it.
the broad. And he's also he's taken over right now.
There we go.
He's basically using the cameras that are in the next room over, which we will be using.
Our radio booth from last year.
Huge shout out to RJ.
Seriously, and so as you were looking at that, that is a way that you can help us out. There is a lot of time put into this and expense put into this, and the camera equipment and the soundboards. I mean, we got here 2.5 hours ago to begin setting up, just to try to figure out all of the variables. I mean, we went live on this video, and we had no audio for like the first 4 minutes.
Yeah. What'd you get from McDonald's, by the way?
I got, you know what, I am at a point in my life, I've realized this epiphany recently that
Grilled food?
I am no
He would
longer.
never get the fillet of fish, I promise.
Never. And I might if it didn't have tartar sauce and had cheese added to it.
And no fish.
But I'm at a point in my life where I no longer need a quarter pounder, certainly not a double quarter pounder.
That was your go-to.
That was my go-to. I don't need a regular Whataburger anymore. The junior Whataburger is perfectly fine for me. So I'm back down to just a regular cheeseburger and a medium, not supersized fries anymore.
Not Big E
You're
either?
leaving the fun land.
It's
Yeah,
really
what's going
odd.
on with you, man?
The appetite's
Diabetes?
not there anymore. There's a lot of anxiety.
Stress?
A big career change move, leaving radio to take a risk to do this full time. And
He had to
putting
get ready for the cameras.
all
Is
the
what it
eggs
was.
in the back. Yeah, we got to got to transition from radio face to still radio face, but maybe a little less radio facey.
That's the nicest golf cart I've ever seen in my life. Holy cow.
Where's it? Oh, look
That's
at
like
that.
the Cadillac
Yeah,
of
but
golf
that might be
carts.
250 degrees.
It might be 250 grand.
It is full black, and it is really, really
For
hot
those
outside.
of you that don't know, that golf cart right there takes 8 batteries.
That looks like athletic director Andrew Thigpen's daughter that's operating it. So it looks like,
she's rolling the tight whips.
yeah.
It's got a trailer hitch on the back, so it's probably used for the homecoming parade.
I just came across it, so I'm going to go ahead and promote it. But on Miss Stephanie Morocco's Facebook, they have promoted that at Lou's Tavern starting about 20 minutes ago.
the lantern, Gareth.
There's a Choctaw pregame tailgate at Lou's Tavern. So if you want to go there, it's good food, cold drinks. No sponsor, but if they're going to be supporting the Indians, I'm all for it. So they're probably doing things pretty right over there.
Hey, Stephanie, do they have White Claws?
That's a good question. I know she's in the live. Stephanie, you've been tested.
I also see Sarah Yancey Morrison saying, "What time are y'all doing the player interviews?" And honestly, I don't know if it's going to happen, just because first of all, they're out there practicing and getting hot and tired, and I'm not sure they'll want to climb the 72 steps necessary to come up here.
that was the one thing I was wondering about setting up here, down here. We're fine, we're used to it, but having these players pop in, this isn't just, hey, take a couple steps over there and chat for a few minutes. This is a big undertaking. There's 32 rows.
And because we're not down there, I'm not even certain that they're aware that we're here, because obviously they're not on their phones on Facebook Live or anything like that. So I don't know if we're going to get the opportunity to today. Which is
It'll have to
unfortunate,
be,
because I do
yeah.
know that today was media day and that they were going to be made available at 3:30, I believe is what they said.
You know, Gareth, only if we knew somebody that knew some of these guys that could maybe go down there and say, hey, listen, would you mind coming up to the press box for an interview?
I'll
Maybe
see.
somebody that's graduated recently that went to school with these
I've
guys.
been texting Jack Morocco. I'll shoot him a text and see if there's anybody willing to come up here.
Just make him aware that we
He'd be
are
right,
here.
or
that
maybe
we're-
he could spread
we're
the
up in
word,
press
but
box.
he would, Jackson Morocco would be right at the top of our list, and so would his mom, because I'm still waiting to hear an answer from her about a certain beverage I was inquiring about that will be saved till after the game.
I just had my day made by your mother, Kevin. Are you in the chat right now?
No,
right.
I'm not even on Facebook.
Your mother says. Is that your?
Yeah, that was my bad.
Go ahead and mute that. Your mother in the Facebook comment says 37 years of laughing at Gareth and Kevin, two of the most entertaining people in the world. Not to mention they are so darn intelligent. Proud mom here.
Does she know we're 48?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess she's assuming we didn't meet each other as early in life as
That's
we
when
did.
we moved in, 88.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So there's 11 years. She's the smartest person in our family.
You
so
moved
she
into
backed
Cecil
that up.
Donaldson's old house.
Anne Marie, daughter Anne Marie.
That's
Had
right.
a lot of weird locks in the house because of that.
Yeah.
She was good friends with
Really?
you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Each door has 2 locks on it, even like doors that go from the kitchen to the garage, as I say in Europe. And my mother could tell you. But yeah, I was just kidding about that White Claw comment, Mom. By the way, I was trying to be funny.
Coach Saucedo, I used to teach at Choctaw with him. I believe he's teaching in Missouri
Coach
now.
Saucy.
He asked, where can we watch the game? Great question. We'll say it again, and we'll say it over and over again because I talk so much it feels like I'm always repeating myself, and oftentimes I don't have main character syndrome. Sorry, I'm not the main character in everyone's storyline, and sometimes I assume everyone knows everything I've already said. EmeraldCoastTV.com is where we would like for you to use the main source. Now, Emerald Coast TV has a YouTube account. Yes, we're going to be streaming that on YouTube. We would love for you to use EmeraldCoastTV.com as the pass-through for that.
Like the springboard to the YouTube. But, as Keith could tell you, in 2026, YouTube is just boom, and it's on your TV.
Yeah.
And you're watching it like you're watching Norfolk State and Jackson State, or the Packers and the Steelers. And we want you to visit the website, but we understand that YouTube is the most convenient way to watch.
Look at that. RJ has just added graphics to the live stream.
That's
EmeraldCoastTV.com tonight with a little crawl at the bottom. And we've also got another comment from Becky Caldwell. She says, hi from Michigan. Stephanie Morocco, my niece, sent me here.
Go Buckeyes.
You're going to get to watch your great nephews. Great in multiple ways.
They're
Carter and
great.
Jack are going to. That was pretty good, Tony.
I've been working on it for a few years.
You're going to be able to tune into them all season long. EmeraldCoastTV.com, live streaming through YouTube. I know that you guys are used to experiencing it through my Facebook page. That's how this show right now is emanating, is through my Facebook page. But we are migrating away from that. This is a partnership here. This is not the Gareth Stearns show. This is a 5-person team. Kevin Horgan, Brady Brooks, Gareth Stearns, Keith Nix, and R.J. Murdock.
Yeah. I will say my mom just texted me.
I did not notice.
My mom just texted me to let me know that there is a spelling error on the ticker at the bottom of the screen that says what instead of watch. So
What?
yeah, exactly.
What?
So that ticker would be a great place to put some live stats for the game.
Yes, and for those of you that aren't familiar, that was a Stone Cold Steve Austin take. What?
Very good.
Because if you remember, he kind of said what instead of what.
David Saucedo just said, tater tot, that's my
Yeah.
boy.
I remember Coach Saucy. That was my
I like cheese on my
homeroom
tater
teacher.
tots.
Do you really?
Yeah.
We're the best tots in town.
Well, who has them besides Tops and Sonic?
They do have some nice tots.
Yeah. They're nothing like better than a nice pair of tots.
Yeah, you can eat those tots?
It just depends on how hungry I am. Depends on if I ever get the answer from Miss Morocco about the beverages at Lou's Tavern, because that might make me want to eat tots.
Okay, well, I don't know the backstory there, but we are teetering and tottering
Gareth,
on...
you're the Fort Walton Beach expert. Tell everybody what Lou's Tavern was in our youth.
Oh, it's been Pumpkin Drublick. It's been the Lantern. It's been a myriad.
Drublick. What a name.
Great wordplay.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's been Lou's for a couple years. It's actually broken the streak.
Yeah. You know what I remember most about that place? They had a cigarette machine outside of the
A
business.
machine.
Yeah, a machine.
Don't smoke, kids.
No, don't smoke, especially not non-filters.
Oh, my Lord.
Don't waste $2 and quarters on non-filters.
You couldn't get those into the machine fast enough that day.
Did you like that hand speed?
I can't believe how easily accessible they were back
It was
in 19...
outside of the business.
It's nuts.
Remember, it was to the right of the front door.
Straight gibberish for me.
It's confession time. 20th century confession times. It's riding around.
No, wait, my mom's watching.
Oh, that's right. Sorry,
Well,
Robin.
you got statute of limitations.
We're talking about the candy cigarettes from Goofy Golf.
Good call. Good call.
They had them in a machine outside the front door because, Goofy Golf had a front door.
Yeah, they did. That's right.
This show just took a turn.
Your mom
Well,
doesn't hold a statute of limitations.
We are good at doing that. I'm seeing these
Just a
graphics
grudge.
on the screen for the first time.
Ask my sister.
I knew that RJ was going to be able to do this, but it's just really cool to see it happen in real time. And it just makes me even more excited for the possibilities of what we're going to be able to bring.
He's going to be able to put up our Twitter handles and
This is
and
going to
stuff
be able
like
to take
that.
a huge, huge step forward from the audio that we had before.
Oh, no kidding. Audio, video, being able to assist our sponsors in ways that radio wasn't able to do. And that's not to say that we're not still working on getting the broadcast onto radio. We do realize there is a segment of the population out there that does like to tune into local radio, especially for sports broadcasts, and anything to increase our reach is definitely what we would like to do, as long as it enhances the brand of the school overall. And so that's something that we're still working on. We may marry our own video broadcast to the same radio station we did last year, but that would be in addition to what we're doing. And we're also talking with the athletic director of Choctaw, Mr. Andrew Thigpen, because they have their own camera system that is tied to the NFHS, the National Federation for
High school sports, a subscription monthly that they have just raised $3 within the last month.
They don't even have-
$4.
they don't
I've been paying $9.99 for several years, and I noticed on my most recent bank statement it is now $13.99.
They don't even have one at St. Augustine High School.
Well,
They do. It just doesn't work.
it's not just for football. They have a camera set up for basketball games,
And it's
and
great
other
for
sports.
basketball.
And
volleyball.
What it has been lacking, and what he asked us to be able to do last year, which we didn't have the know-how or even the technical ability to do, was to marry the audio that we were producing last year to his video camera footage, which is basically a stationary shot that kind of pans as the action goes. So we think this year we will also be able to take the audio that we are creating for our video broadcast and allow them to use that audio for their own camera views as well. So it's going to create a different angles, different opportunities to see questionable plays, remarkable plays, certainly more so than we could articulate just through a radio speaker.
And I can tell you from experience, Gareth, it is possible because the NFHS network, like I said, I've been a subscriber for years. Nice High School in the Ponte Vedra area, Tim Tebow's alma mater, they have announcers on their NFHS stream. Gainesville Buchholz, they have announcers for football on their NFHS stream. And so does Ridgeview High School, the Panthers, which is in the Orange Park area. They also have announcers for their NFHS. So I know it's possible. But RJ is the guy, I know it's possible. RJ is the guy that actually knows how to do it.
It's incredible. Like, I have so many questions and ideas for him, but he is an order of operations guy, so I gotta know my role in all this. And whereas I want to kind of begin 6 or 7 different things at the same time and let them all sort of upload progressively at the same time, he's like, no, let's get on air first. And then let's figure
Baby steps.
Yes, and then let's figure out framing and focus.
I thought Keith had a Mick Ultra. Not gonna lie.
It's, it does have a Mick Ultra look
For
to it.
now.
If you were just tuning in, EmeraldCoastTV.com is the place to catch Choctaw football this year. We are going to be live and broadcasting with multiple cameras, okay? Same broadcast team that you were hearing on the radio last year, Gareth Stearns, Kevin Horgan, Brady Brooks. We're going to have RJ Murdock and Keith Nix running the production and helping us to put out the fires and perceive any shortcomings or issues that we haven't either experienced yet or dreamt up. So it's really, really exciting. We're moving away from my own page, my own Facebook page, which is how you're viewing this show right now. And the games itself are going to be broadcast through EmeraldCoastTV.com. So it's like old school. You got to remember the website to go to.
And unfortunately, which, like he said, it is possible to find it on YouTube, but it would be a whole lot easier to just look up the website and go through there. So once you go to the website, the YouTube stream will pop up. And like Kevin has pointed out, it is so easy to just put it on your TV. There's a button for it to connect it to your TV. And who would have thought Choctaw football would be able to watch on the TV a year after we finally put it on radio 2 years ago? This wasn't even a thought. So
If you have a movie projector, you can watch Choctaw football on up to 140 inches.
Boom.
I mean, due to the power of technology, and this is something, Gareth, you and I would have given a leg for in our childhood.
You are absolutely
watching
right.
grainy Sunday morning replays on Channel 6, being able to watch it in 80, 90, 100 inch HD. I mean, we would have done anything for this.
It's a very surreal moment that we have the opportunity to do this. It's a huge honor. Being able to take the broadcast from radio to our television screens, our phones, our mobile devices, being able to have sports bars, put them up on their string of TVs around. It's just exciting. We're a small market. We don't have we don't have NBC, ABC affiliates to not only do this, but even learn how to do this. So we're sort of creating a template and trailblazing and learning as we go. That's exciting to me. It's also very nerve-wracking. It's all the things, really. Yeah. And I'm ready for all the things this year. Yeah. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Let's talk about the season itself. Are there any let's talk, as far as the team, we've talked about offense and defense. There's one area of the team that we have not really touched on that much. And
for a reason.
It's probably going to be an area of concern for a little bit.
Yeah. It appeared so.
So basically, we're talking about the kicking game. We had last year a terrific kicker, Kyler Galkowski. Just an incredible boot of a leg. There was never a concern that distance would be an issue or mojo, keeping your cool. But unfortunately, he experienced an injury, a season-ending injury, and the team has had to go recruit. And it's
recruit within the school.
Yeah.
It's a soccer team, not
which
recruit.
Okay, very good. Recruiting within another team within the school. Thank you for setting that straight. And so I want to say this in the most careful way possible because at the end of the day, we're talking about young people. Kicking is hard. Okay, I couldn't go out there and kick an extra point.
And this is a former Megs Wildcat soccer player.
Okay, it's a very difficult thing to do, especially if it's not your sport. You're being asked to do it on the fly for a team that was just in the Final Four last year. So we've got a kicker from the soccer team. He is a senior. What's his last name? Is Ryan Anderson.
Last name's Ryan Anderson. So I
very
think
big
he's
last
probably
name
a relative
in the area.
of him.
Yes.
Okay, and he's still learning the ropes. Okay, so we don't know what that exactly is going to translate in the season. I think in the short term, we're probably going to be seeing some more 2-point conversions than we normally would. We're probably going to be seeing some more going forward on fourth down in an area where you might normally consider kicking a field goal. So it may impact the game in ways like that. I may be completely off base.
I'm hoping he proves us wrong and makes us look like idiots.
Off base here.
Yeah, well, sorry, I didn't want to. Let me just say, but to cap off the end of the conversation, it would be great if you were if any businesses are listening, official watch party sponsor of the Choctawhatchee Indians. You could host watch parties every Friday night. Sponsor us either way. And Andrew Ryan-Earson, who is going to be that kicker. First off, it came out during baseball season. I went to go set up for a baseball game. I got to broadcast last year on the radio as well. And I'm watching the JV game, and Kyler Galkowski tears his ACL running the bases. It was a shame, or may have been playing defense. It was a shame, but then it comes out that he actually spent the entirety of last season kicking on a partially torn ACL.
Wow.
So, which was so impressive because for the most part, and maybe even completely perfect on PATs all season, he had hit some of the field goals, and he had the boot, of course. And I think it is really important to kind of, for us, to lower our expectations a little bit because Kyler Galkowski was probably the best kicker. The only kicker I saw that outperformed him was the guy from American Heritage, and it's probably because he's been kicking since he was 2 years old. But it's really important to remember that in high school you don't have guys that are going to make every PAT. Andrew Ryan-Earson, what I can tell about you is he's a great guy. I've known him for 10 years.
Great kid.
Great kid. And his brother Campbell was a really good soccer player. He's over at FSU now. Go Noles. And Andrew is going to go off and play college soccer if he wants to. His dad, Greg, was my construction teacher in middle school. And I know that he's a really, really hard worker. And it usually comes when you have a father in a position like that. He's got a great work ethic, and he is really freaking talented at soccer.
And he's got a heck of a set of grandparents, the nicest two people that I probably ever met. Gareth, said Andrew Ryan-Earson a little bit better than you know. He is a yearly participant in the infamous Turkey Bowl.
Yes.
Is he the guy that burned me for the touchdown?
Probably, yeah. But he, and the point being is that he's really talented at soccer, and you got to remember, this is a 3-month season.
The
and
soccer field is 80 feet wide, and upright is 20 feet wide.
He has
There's
only
a difference.
been able to practice kicking for maybe the last 3 months.
No shade intended at all on my
Yeah,
part.
and
It is a
think-
We love
difficult
him
thing.
and his family.
And
I just said I want him to prove us wrong, Brady.
And he really wants to be a good kicker, too, and he's been putting in the work. So I'm excited to see that.
Maybe that wasn't even him the other day.
Yeah, I don't think he will have the best version of himself in tonight's
There was no coach
game
over
or
there?
next week's game. I'm ready to see how he evolves throughout the season. If this will be a guy that you can count on for a 30 or 40-yard field goal in a playoff
We
game.
want to
So,
see that toe meet leather.
of course, we got to make sure, just have some patience. If I know Andrew, I know that he's going to do everything he can to be the best version of himself. And I think of all things, it's pretty interesting to watch how the kicker position will evolve.
So I guess as we are getting close to the 2-hour mark here, no commercial breaks, by the way.
Yeah,
so
it's
have you
been
guys?
so
it's-
awesome.
and we've been able to do it like nonstop. I think
Like
that
a
there's
shoot
something to
interview
be said.
style, yeah.
There's something to be said about being able to do that. And that's what I like about Keith on my daily show as well, just our ability to riff and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to riffing with you throughout the entire season. I'm looking forward to the road trips, experiencing that and building the camaraderie. And I know that last season set the bar so high. I just really like you, Brady, I'm ready to move past it. I'm ready to begin anew. This is a brand new experience. I think this team is hungry. I think they look bigger, they look quicker, and they know what it takes to get where they were, and they know what it feels like to get that close and just not achieve it. So I really think there's going to be a spark under this team. They got the right coaches. I think all these stars are aligned. What do you guys think?
I think we have a working play clock now, and that's a boost up. I think it broke last year, so that's
I
really
also
awesome.
think, with everything Gareth talked about, we also have 16 out of 22 starters back to back that up.
Yeah.
And that's a lot.
And I think a lot of the time it kind of makes me a little angry. I wouldn't say angry. I'm not that
Angry.
Yeah. It's a lot of people, when you talk about Choctaw football in the area, they're talking about how they feel that it's a school made of transfers, or they're the new Niceville, which let me just say, Niceville's done this for 40 years, which I'm not even saying this, because when you get into the bread and butter of Choctaw, the first thing you see is the coaching. And when Beasley came over, there was a very strict culture change, and that's not saying anything bad about the staff that was before that, but you need to have coaches that people want to play under. And that's not just people that are moving in from out of town. That's also people that have been here and that are on JV. They're still hungry. They don't want to quit just because somebody comes in and they're giving them competition. They want to impress guys like Terrence Brooks or like Fuller or like Pacheco or like Beasley. And I would say that this coaching staff is the best in the area, and that's a big reason of why their success is so sustained over years.
And the coaching staff, Brady, has to get this program to a level where kids want to come here to succeed.
Exactly.
And know that they could come here and play for a state title and play for a regional final and make a Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, not to throw any shade, but there is a certain school starting running back in Niceville who lives in Crestview. Before they throw it at us,
Yeah.
we have arms too.
Yeah, and I feel really bad. I was spending a youth trip at Greg Thomas's house, actually, and for some reason I didn't realize that his son's name is also Greg Thomas, and he's one of my good friends. And they're like, "Oh, we're going to Greg Thomas's parents' house," and I get there and I'm hearing him talk about his new job that he's gotten for football, and it took me that long to finally piece together that it was the Greg Thomas. Which, if you spend time around people who know football, like I get to do with Gareth and Kevin, you hear the name Greg Thomas and you read about Greg Thomas. And they asked him, he was like, are you guys going to beat Choctaw this year? And he was like, well, it'll be fun, And, of course, he threw in a little comment about how he feels like it may be a little unfairly matched up because of a certain advantage. And for a second, I was like, oh, that's unfair. But then I realized, man, Greg Thomas has been on the wrong side of history with this thing for as long as he's lived.
Greg Thomas is also the winningest coach in the history of Choctawhatchee football.
Yeah, and he had to face.
That's a lot to be said, Gareth.
He had to face Niceville for so many
How
years.
close is Beasley? I mean,
He's got to be closing in, but
He got his 100th career win last year.
he did. So he's probably at like what 108 now, 10.
I think Thomas is at 137.
So it's going to be a few more seasons.
Yeah, two.
What about Fayard? What was he at? And what about Hal Wyatt?
How the hat.
How the hat Wyatt?
Well,
how the
hat
did I
are you, Gareth?
How the hell did I forget?
How the
about
hat did you forget? Here's the thing about Lionel Fayard, who is my personal all-time favorite Choctawhatchee football coach. But besides the 1990 team and the 1995 team, there was a lot of 2-8, 3-7, 4-6s.
You hit on that earlier. That's a very special thing about Coach Frank Beasley is Choctaw. It's not as if they haven't had great teams throughout the years. What they haven't had is consistency.
It's been sporadic.
It's great team, not so great. Great team, horrible. Great team, okay, looks like we got something, and then we take a step back. Coach Frank Beasley seems to have broken that trend.
He steps forward.
Can you? I mean, you're the stat guru, Choctaw guru guy. Can you just run through like the past 5 or 6 years of playoff runs that Choctaw has had?
Well, he for the last 5 years, he has at least reached the regional finals every year. He has won. He has won one. We've lost to St. Augustine. All of these have been on the road. We have yet to host a regional final. Maybe this year will be the year.
Maybe, but we're going to have to win some
Frank
games.
takes steps forward. For example, the 1990 state championship team, the most decorated team in the history of Choctawhatchee football. If I'm not mistaken, the 1991 team was 3-7.
Big step back. Big step back.
Yes.
They didn't have a kicker that year because
Nope, they
Horgan
didn't
graduated.
have Jerry McGee's. They didn't have Lionel Fayard. They didn't have, they didn't have William Baldwin. They didn't have William Washington. They didn't have Torino Cowart. They didn't have Brad Davis. They had
Andre Bowie.
They had Jeff Peters back, and then just some guys.
And their punter. Who was their punter?
Paul Smith.
Paul Smith. That's right.
Paul Smith lost his state championship ring at the beach a couple weeks after they got him.
Are you
Still
serious?
never been found.
So it's out there, ladies
It's out
and
there.
gentlemen.
If you have a metal detector, and if you find that you could get something pretty cool.
Yeah, well, you'll get something pretty cool if you find us tonight on EmeraldCoastTV.com. Not live streaming the game through my Facebook page. We are live streaming it through RJ Murdock's Emerald Coast TV, and that's going to be at EmeraldCoastTV.com. Another benefit of going through that local page is we would like to be able to offer to any potential sponsors the ability to put for eyeballs like on banner space on a web page. So you can't really do that on YouTube. So if we can put that on Emerald Coast TV, that's another opportunity for locals to put your eyeballs on the business while using Emerald Coast TV as the pass-through to YouTube. The YouTube stream is going to be provided directly from EmeraldCoastTV.com. You won't need to go to YouTube to search for it, which you can do, but we're eliminating that step for you. But I guess the long story short, it's not going to be through Facebook Live, Gareth Stearns' page. It's going to be through EmeraldCoastTV.com, their account, their YouTube account, which is going to be streaming through that page. So we hope that you'll enjoy that. We hope that you'll tune in. The game starts at 7,
Yes.
right? Did we ever get confirmation if JV or varsity will be playing in the first half tonight?
Brady, is there any way you can do that?
I will text my sources, but I will say my source, Jack Marco, did let me know that it is now too close to game time to where they will not be able to come out of the field house. So we won't be able to get any pregame interviews today, but I'll go ahead and infer about.
But I
when
will
varsity
tell
will
you,
take the
last
field.
night's kickoff classic between Niceville and Fort Walton, two Okaloosa County teams, maybe it's a county rule, I don't know. Their junior varsity was the first half, their varsity was the second half.
You know, maybe there's something smart about that because the crowd might leave if it was the opposite way around. It'll give us a lot more opportunity if that's the case to not only look at the future of Choctawhatchee, but to talk more about the preseason.
And get the technical aspects down. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I actually kind of prefer it that way. That being said, today's broadcast, episode 166 of Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing, we're going to go ahead and put an end to that. That way we can sort of recharge our batteries, literally and figuratively, and get reset up so that we can go live from EmeraldCoastTV.com for tonight's kickoff classic. That starts at 7 p.m. What time do you think we should go live for that? About 6:30.
6:30.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and end this. We're gonna come back live around 6:30 p.m. But it's going to be through EmeraldCoastTV.com. What I'll probably do is I'll probably go on live on Facebook at the same time and be like, "Hey guys, if you are coming here looking for this, go to this." It's going to take a minute to migrate the audience, but we hope that you'll follow us. We hope that you'll help us spread the word, share it, like, comment, follow, all the things. this is what it takes to bring a local community together and make it look as professional and fun and interesting as possible.
If you know other players' families that won't be able to come, make sure to tell them this is how they can watch their kids. If you know other big Choctaw football fans, if you know any fans that live out of town, if you know any alumni that live out of town, I expect that these first few weeks the streams are going to double and triple and quadruple as people start to discover it. So help spread that word and help people know that this is accessible. This is free Choctaw football that they can watch on their TVs.
I mean, I can go ahead and break the news right now, guys. We will have former Choctawhatchee Indian shooting guard and wide receiver, class of 1991, Greg Peters, watching all the way from Wisconsin tonight.
Wisconsin.
In Milwaukee.
Come smell our derriere.
Derriere.
The cheese steak.
Because it's the cheesesteak.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I can think of no better way to end the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you, Greg.
For Walton Beach, what we're doing is stepping away for the weekend. Why? Because what we're doing is getting ready for Choctawhatchee football tonight. Don't you miss it. The kickoff classic between Choctawhatchee High School, the Big Green Indians, against Panama City Bay Tornadoes. That's going to be tonight, starting at 7 p.m. Our pregame coverage is going to begin at 6:30 from EmeraldCoastTV.com. That being said, thank you to Kevin, thank you to Brady, thank you to Keith, thank you
Keith.
to, there he is, thank you to RJ Murdock, thank you to all of you for tuning in. Please stick with us, not only tonight, but for an excellent football season. Go Big Green.
Go Big Green.
Green.